This week, I walked away from a business opportunity that on the surface seemed absolutely perfect. And a dream from 6 years ago helped me confirm this decision. But here's what's really important: I do not make decisions based on dreams alone. And the thing is this business opportunity, it seemed absolutely like an answer to prayers. It would allow me to work from home. It had this growth opportunity in it. It was with a person that I've worked with in the past, and I love him. We worked together so well that when we had to part ways for his own business changes, it broke my heart. Like, I love this guy. And the opportunity to work with him again was almost irresistible. It literally checked every box, with the exception of a check in my spirit. I don't know. It was like nothing to do with him. And honestly, nothing even to do with the business opportunity. Something inside didn't line up. Something was like in my discernment, I knew something was off. Okay, so then I have this first red flag. I go in for the meeting. Everything looks wonderful. I mean, the opportunity is wonderful. The business is wonderful. It's another stream of income, which I'm always looking for. And then that check in my spirit. So I leave the meeting, honestly, in pretty high spirits. It looks great. And then I kind of seek some counsel, and I begin to get counsel from trusted people in my life. And I'm like, hey, here's how I'm feeling. Here's the opportunity. And their information back confirms that check in my spirit. So I like to go with the law of threes before I make big decisions. Okay. I'm not talking about like, am I buying pasta, ravioli or not? I'm talking like big decisions, usually a law of threes. So I have a first law. I have a check in my spirit, despite the fact that and I mean, everything looks perfect. Okay. And then I have that check in my spirit. Then I check with other trusted people in my life, and that check is confirmed. Here's where the amazing part comes in. And I'm telling you, this is why dreams, I don't know what I'd do without dreams. Have you ever had this happen where you're in a life situation and then suddenly a dream you had just keeps coming back to you? And that's what kept happening. Like, this dream from 6 years ago kept coming back to me, like little pieces of it. And on the surface, it wasn't making any sense to apply to this business alignment. But I thought, okay, I need a third way to confirm that what seems like an absolutely perfect opportunity is not for me. And so today I sat down to look at this dream, and I'm going to share it with you so you can see how this dream from 6 years ago helped confirm this big decision to pass on what seems like a perfect opportunity. But before we do that, I want to talk to those that are new here. I do dream interpretation every day. As you can tell, I am passionate about dreams, and I am passionate about dreams decoding your future. I firmly believe, not only with my own life and the way that I have been able to negotiate the ups and downs of life because of information that I'm given in my dream life, but the lives of others. I am interpreting dreams for others all the time. So I can see that it not only is working for me, it is working for other people. And that is what I am doing on this YouTube channel, as I'm trying to share the information on how you can use what you're already receiving in your nightlife to help guide you to the answers to the questions that you're asking in life. If you like this conversation, please hit the like button and subscribe so you know when the new videos come out. Okay, let's get into this dream so you can see how such a huge decision, coupled with this like gut feeling and then pulling in the advice from trusted people around me, helps solidify what I do moving forward. So I'm going to read this dream. This dream is from May 10th of 2020. So almost 6 years ago. May is right around the corner. I'm going to read it to you. And there are 3 parts to this dream. I'm only going to read the second dream, but then I'm going to come back and talk to you about why the other 2 dreams would matter, even though I won't have time to talk about them today. Let's start. I was in a big room where people were switching out desks. It was a reading job, and they recorded their reading for all kinds of needs. They had been trying to recruit me, and they said that you can work from anywhere. So it was appealing because of Eli. I knew I could work from home. So at this time, I only had one child. I only had my oldest, Eli. I decided to sign up, and a guy was so pleased that he had me skip in line and took me to an unused computer terminal where I signed something and he started filling out paperwork. The paperwork was taking a while. And while I was waiting, one of the head women told that guy that was signing me up that she tries not to have anyone use that computer. He seemed to just ignore her. There was a worker that had been friendly and filling me in on the job. I told him that I would choose to work from home because it'll be easier for me to read aloud in quiet. Then I start wondering how they know how to pay you. I remember being told you get paid 8 hours, and I thought if they are going to pay you for an 8 hour period, there must be a quota of some sort. And I asked the friendly coworker what the quota was. He made a concerned face and said that it was 3,300 or 3,300. I say it that way specifically. I'll tell you in a minute. That it had been 2,500. But as of some day in January, and this date had just passed in the dream, it had been changed to 3,300. Since he looked a bit credulous about this amount, I asked him how many times in the past he had naturally gotten to that word count. And he mentioned the name of a book I wasn't familiar with. I said, "So you only reached that amount one time?" And then the dream ended. If you're talking about dream language, maybe you think, oh, so this business alignment was you reading? No, this business alignment has nothing to do with reading. There's some key symbols that I'm going to point out to you guys so you can begin to use these symbols in your own dream language and begin to decode your own dreams. But here's the key point. I never understood this dream. I remembered it so crystal clear because I never understood the dream. And it's those dreams that stick with you that you just now you can't place in your life. This isn't one of those that I was like, oh yeah, I used it at the time and here's the good part of it, and now I'm reusing it and it's even more influential now. No, I never understood this dream until this business opportunity came up this week, and it came back to my spirit. It kept coming back. I sit down, I look at it, and boom, all the symbols make sense. But it was like I needed a cipher. I needed the information in my real world to plug in to the meanings of these symbols. Because remember, one symbol can have many different meanings, and it all depends on the context of the dream. But I didn't have the context for this dream in 2020. Do you see what I'm saying? I only had the context for this dream last week. It is mind blowing what you can do with your dreams. I could go on so many rabbit trails, but I'm going to try to really stay focused for you. First, the desks, right? They were swapping out desks. Desks can represent a work situation. And where it applied to this is a small business that I would be joining. And so that meant that people were literally, the euphemism could also be like many hats. They're doing many jobs, because when you're starting a small business, you have to wear many hats. You have to swap many desks in order to get everything done until you build big enough to assign one person to each area. Okay. That's number one. Reading, okay, is learning and teaching. And that's what this job honestly would apply to. It was going to be an opportunity for me to learn a field that I'm very interested in. And they would provide that kind of training for me, and it would be self-paced. Okay. Teaching, it was kind of floated that as I got it down, I could then take on a team and help them learn and grow, that's something I like to do. I've taught for a long time in different various capacities in my life, and I enjoy helping people be successful. Do you see how it's like all these things sound perfect? Okay. Then he takes me to this computer terminal. This is where it really gets specific in that I skip in line. And that in reality is kind of what happened, because for this job opportunity, I don't fit the qualifications. Okay. There's certain things that over the last year, I don't fit the qualifications for, but because of my history with this person, we've worked together before really well. He knows me. He was going to have me skip in line. They were going to make an exception for me to be a part of this opportunity. Again, does that not sound divinely orchestrated, like an open door? But the check in my spirit was still there. And here's where we get to the part of the dream that lends to solidifying why I passed on this opportunity. That 3,300, that 3,300, let's break down those numbers. First, actually, go back to 8-hour workday. There's going to be a quota. And in this actual job, there is a quota. There is a yearly quota that you have to meet. Of course, nothing wrong with that. If you don't have any kind of expectations for people, then you're not going to get any good results out of them. That being said, 8 can be like a great strength. And that's what I saw as I sat in this informational meeting last week, is that honestly, you would really have to have a great strength already, a strength built up already to be able to meet that quota well. And for me, I don't want to show up to a job in which I'm not fairly confident. I don't have to be 100% confident, but I need to be fairly confident that I'm going to be able to meet or exceed those goals. Okay. So I wasn't sure I had that strength or that 8 hours. Next, 3. So it's 3,300. 3 is like perfect. 1,000 is ever increasing. 100 is like completeness. So those numbers were showing this was gonna require a lot. Do you see the meanings behind those words? It was gonna require a lot of me. And the way that friendly coworker was talking was saying, like, it was showing like, maybe as wonderful as this opportunity appears to be, maybe I don't have the bandwidth for it. And honestly, that's where I finally made the decision to say, thank you for the opportunity. I would have loved to work with you. I love your business. I love everything you showed me, but it's just not going to be for me because of the dream. It helps solidify just that inner discernment that I was already having, that this is a great opportunity. It's just not my great opportunity. It's not going to be my bandwidth, at least not in this season. And another really critical part of this is that in there, it talked about the time frame having changed the quota as January, as if it was the month before. Well, we're in February now. So literally in reality, right now, when this dream is making sense to me, it changed last month. In January was literally last month. And these are benchmarks that help you recognize, okay, I am now walking out this dream. This is why it's critical. And I feel like I say this ad nauseum, but it's worth repeating. It is so critical that you write down your dreams and you steward them. You put them in a safe place. You read them every once in a while, especially those that didn't make sense at the time you had them, especially those that you haven't walked out. And then when they come back to you, like those sticky dreams come back to you. I had this happen yesterday. In fact, I was interpreting a lot of young people's dreams. I had an 11-year-old and a 16-year-old and a 19-year-old, and we're looking at their dreams all yesterday. And these are incredible dreams, especially the young man that's 16. His were very future oriented, revelatory, and they were warning dreams. Not like that last video I did, warning dream on my side, more like, hey, here's what's gonna happen if you continue on your current path. Here's an opportunity that you're going to find, and what's gonna happen when it hits, something's gonna hurt in it and you're gonna pull back. All these things. These dreams matter. And I bring up this young man so in particular to this situation because he had those dreams years ago. And then just he just happened to sit down beside me yesterday. And I happened to be doing a dream interpretation for another young girl right there. And he was like, well, hey, I have these dreams that I know are important because they keep coming back to me, but I don't know what they mean. And we sat down for like 40 minutes and broke these dreams down. And by the end, it resonated. He knew that what I was telling him those dreams meant, it confirmed other things he had gotten. It confirmed where he was at in life right now. And it is shaping, I hope, him moving forward past today. That's how important dreams are. I am so passionate, guys. Take the time to write them down. Take the time to learn how to interpret them. Take the time to review them, keep them in the back of your head, and don't ignore them when they keep sticking to you, when they keep coming back to your head. Pay attention. It's trying to give you a message. If you made it all the way through to the end of this episode, thank you so much for watching. I love talking about dreams, and I hope you enjoyed it too. If you did, hit the subscribe button because this channel is only here because of you. And if you want to dive deeper into your own dreams, I have a free community for that. See the link below.